As an immigrant, the United States is our promised land. Our land where we can have a decent life, where we can pursue happiness, and life where we can see our children having their own dreams. And then as an immigrant, you never imagine that one day that all your dreams, every hope that you have is gonna crash. My name is Jorge Gonzalez, and this is my story. My parents brought my sister and I to the United States to have something that they haven't had, which was an education. I went to Florida International University and then to Penn State to get an MBA. Out of Penn State, I was recruited by one of the top companies in the world to work for them. I've been working as a business consultant for the last 5 years. As a consultant, I went around the world. I lived in the most amazing places: New York, Istanbul, Zurich, Mexico, Buenos Aires. I was Christian. I was going to church every Sunday. Never missed one. But still, in my heart, I was just playing church, just going by the motions. In August 2008, I took my girlfriend to Curacao to propose to her to be engaged in Curacao. On my way back to the United States, I was detained by immigration. I was told that I'm gonna be sent to an immigration detention center. Everything was so surreal. I've been legally in this country for more than 10 years. I said, maybe they got the wrong name. My name is very common. I thought that everything's gonna go away in a matter of hours. It was just a matter of talking to my lawyer. Little that I know my lawyer that I hired 15 years ago, he was fake. He was a phony lawyer. And all of the cases that he had handled had been flagged, and every single client has been investigated and detained. That's when the immigration officer put the chains in my hands. He tied my hands, he tied my legs, and I started walking into a car. When I got to this detention center and seeing guys that were like 6 feet tall, 300 pounds, they were on their knees crying because they haven't talked to their families in a long time. In my heart, there was something that started burning. Something that started burning says like, you know what, we are here, I'm here for a reason. It's time for you to just be holy. It's time for you to be a real Christian. I found that a group of detainees were meeting every night to read the Bible and to pray, to worship God. And I attend that meeting. And there was something that says, you know what, tell them that, the same way that immigration came to their houses, the same way that they were picked up, at the church, at the grocery store, at their work, that was the same way, totally unexpected. That's how Christ is gonna come. That's why it was so important for them, for all of us in there, to get right with God. I asked them if there's anyone in that room that wants to give up their life to Christ. And to my surprise, I couldn't even believe it. I have never talked about God in public. 3 people decided to become Christians that day. At that day on, I started basically sharing the word of God with the detainees every single night, telling about what God can do for our lives. Every night, there were 50 to 75 people attending the meetings. It was amazing. Like every night, there was someone receiving Christ. Every night was someone reconciled with God. After being there for 4 months, my case came up to be in front of the judge. The prosecutor was very determined to deport me back to the country that I was born. I cried out to God. On December 18, after being detained for 4 months, I went in front of the judge for 5 minutes, and I was set free by the mercy of God. So when I get out, my wife and I decide to have a ceremony with all the families and friends, just celebrating with us our marriage, celebrating with us our love. With my wife, we start a small group. It's called the Nehemiah Project. We go out to different churches, especially churches and immigrant neighborhoods, and we're telling people, as an immigrants, we're never hopeless. We have the most amazing Father that's always gonna care for us, always gonna provide shelter, always gonna provide food, always gonna be there for us. Now looking back, I'm glad that I was detained. In that place, God straightened me out. In that place, God made me a servant.